Hello, hello. This is gonna be my fifth stream in this series of my game dev, and I'm gonna wait until all my channels are streaming. So it looks like Twitch is already online. I'm gonna double check on YouTube to see whether YouTube is online, and it looks like I am live as well right here. And let me just do the settings real quick. Okay, that's perfect and perfect. So I'm both online on Twitch and YouTube. Perfect. And yeah, let's continue on the work that I've been doing since the start of the stream. That is my game devlog, episode 5. And let's continue on with the work that I've been working on. So I'm going to continue on the Unreal editor for Fortnite, and right now I'm working on an action scene. Basically, it's a scene where a missile hits a bridge, a wooden bridge, as a surprise. It creates an explosion, kaboom, and then it propels a couple of bridges out, giving the player an obstacle to complete. And right now I'm just attaching the fire component onto the bridge itself. I have no idea why it wouldn't attach to the challenge right now is for me to figure out how to attach this item to this item, and for some reason right now it doesn't give me the ability to do so. Whenever I select attach to and press the pick a parent, it will basically not allow me to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go to the internet and figure this problem out. So all right, let's type in Unreal Engine can't attached object to object. I think this is a good search query. And okay, objects were attached to the mesh. Maybe that's not what really this is all about. I wonder whether I actually have to put this item into the sequencer, and this could be the problem right here. Let's see. Okay, let's see whether I'm now able to do that. I have a shortcut on my Stream Deck that allows me to attach things with one button, so I just pressed it, and now it's still incompatible. Is incompatible with this object. Okay. And this doesn't seem to give me the answer. Sometimes I have very good luck simply asking, something like Claude or ChatGPT to answer the question. And I'm just gonna repeat the same question to Claude. I'm gonna paste this in. And of course I'm gonna end this with, why does it do that? And let's see what Claude gives to me. Socket limitations, scale differences. I think the closest thing that the problem might be is a hierarchy issue. But let's take a look at what this hierarchy issue might be like. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. So it didn't actually attach that either. Interesting. Okay. What I just discovered is that the fire didn't attach to the previous object either, which I thought initially it did. So let me try again. I'm gonna put this fire right here. Go right here. And now possibly... You know what? Maybe I think I have a much simpler solution to the problem. So why not instead of attaching the object to this object, so I could simply copy and paste the translate on the on this guy. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna create a transform, and I'm gonna look for that up here, and I am gonna effectively copy and paste it. Copy and paste the transform with all the free keyframes. And let's see whether that would do what it needs to do. Close enough. All I need to do is scoop it a little bit maybe here. And let's see. Oh yeah. It definitely follows it with one caveat. The caveat being that the translate is a little bit off center. So what I can do is let's see, which one is it? On which... Is it on the Y? Yeah, it is on the Y. So what I could technically do is I could delete... I could basically delete that one socket. And now it should... Now I could simply scoop it right here and it would follow the path. And here we go. We have now something where when the bomb hits the bridge explodes and the fire is actually following that wooden bridge piece. And I think when you actually play the game, it'd be hilarious for another player to be up there, but triggering it, and you happen to be down there, and all you see is basically this boom. That would surprise the crap. That would surprise the crap out of you. I think that would be hilarious. All right, so this is so I figured out this part. Now I just have to do this identical thing right here, and I am set. I am golden. So let me just do that. Before I can do that, though, I need to do a few things with the VFX creator, which is very simply click, click. I'm gonna press on actor hidden in game because we don't want it showing in the game just yet, not quite yet. And I'm gonna create another keyframe. And I'm going to enable the visibility, so now it's visible. But it's still pretty static. So all I need to do is I need to effectively trigger that. But effectively, I need to take the transform from this bridge part and do the same thing that I did with the other bridge part. So I'm going to go to transform. And I'm gonna copy that, and now I'm gonna select the right fire, which happened to be this. I'm gonna add a transform, and I'm gonna paste it into the transform. Let's see what this does. And voila, we have this working now. So the player goes up, and immediately as he goes up, he's gonna encounter this animated sequence. So I'm gonna disable all the visual clutter, and let's play it. Boof. All right. Okay, a few things that we are missing, right? It may be a little bit. I think the animation on the bridge part plays a little bit too fast. Though I think it's pretty hilarious. That is a pretty easy fix. All we need to do in that case is increase the increase the length of the animation by dragging the keyframes. So I'm gonna go and put this right around here. I'm gonna put this transform here, and I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna start with the other one, because the other one is probably better to work with. Here we go, perfect. And all I have to do now is drag both of the keyframes until it looks okay. So I'm pretty excited about the future releases of UEFN, because they're gonna do something. They're gonna enable physics simulations, and with that, I don't have to hand animate all of these sequences anymore. At least anything like things falling. Okay, I immediately see that this is a little too slow to my liking, so I'm gonna speed this part up a bit. So I'm gonna put this right at 2. Or let's see what this feels like. Boof. Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, that feels a lot better. What does it look like if I happen to be on the starting thing? Alright. I think the only way to truly know what it looks like is by actually playing the game. However, we're not quite done yet with this sequence. There's another thing I want to incorporate in the sequence, and which happen to be these SATs, those SATs decal. You know what? It occurred to me that I didn't enable my chat. So let me open up the chat. Looks like I need to sign in. Let's see. I don't think anybody commented yet. No? That's perfectly fine. So we have one viewer, which is me. And we have also me just monitoring it on YouTube. So no harm done quite yet. I guess I can spend the time to enable the chat function. So, which happened to be this. And for some reason, it didn't really kept me. It didn't really kept me logged in. So let me just authorize a couple of things real quick. Both on Twitch. Maybe I need to. I have an idea. Maybe I need to completely exit the app and restart the app. And let's see what that works. If this will do the trick. Hopefully it'll auto-update, auto-log me in, so I don't have to log in anymore. And let's see what it does. And we have the same issue. Authorize. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, success. Looks like we are successfully in one of our chats. So the only thing I need to do is connect the YouTube one. I'm less concerned about YouTube. Here we go. Continue. Alright, I'm less concerned about YouTube than I am about the other one. And okay, cool, we are logged in. So to make sure that I always see the chat window, I will always make it on top, which I do by Windows Control T. And now it won't go away. if you're curious how I did that, I installed this tool, Power Tools for Windows, and it's a super useful suite of extra things that I can do. So, for instance, I mean, it comes with a lot of gimmicky things like Find My Mouse or Power Rename, but the always on top thing is super useful because it allows me to actually, let's say, it's really good if you have to copy and paste a lot of documents, and you want to have like a notepad always on top, so you don't have to. So when you click on, for example, like Unreal Engine, and you happen to have the notepad that you're copy and pasting from, it will not. The notepad will not just go behind the Unreal Engine. Anyway, let's go back into this whole thing. So I'm press G again, and I'm gonna copy and paste this. I'm gonna take this decal. I'm gonna take one of the freestanding ones, or actually, what I can do is this decal? Yeah, I'm gonna take. No, that's an animation. Okay, I'm taking this decal, stealing it from the scene, and what I need to do. Let me scoop this away. I'm gonna detach this, and here we go. Since we have it detached, I can now put this into the area where I want it. And I have the perfect place for it already. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna redo this because I like to have it perfectly constrained. So it doesn't get too messy. And here we go. So what this thing does is it gives you a little bit of a decal. It gives you a decal. The moment it explodes, it'll give you like a little bit of suds, kind of adding the immersions of it, right? Boom. And I think this gives us a little bit of a old school video game approach. The only thing I have to be careful about is the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the decal size, lower it significantly, so the decal only shows up at one side. And now I have to just scoop it in all the way right here. And now let me look, and you can see that it's not available on the other side. And that is great. Now I can take this decal and I put this into the sequence. But I'm gonna do it right here. And it's a very easy way, easy thing to hide and unhide. Very much like the VFX creators. I can basically just go in here, go press actor hidden in game. It's currently completely hidden. And I'm gonna press keyframe, go to the next keyframe, and I can enable it, and voila, we have now little bit suds, you know. And I believe these little things enable it adds to the immersions of the game. I'm gonna duplicate this because I also want to have a little bit of suds on other areas of the, for instance, the wooden bridge behind there. And I'm gonna increase the size a bit. And I'm gonna shrink this also. I'm gonna shrink that decal a bit. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna make a test play. But before I can do this, I still need to I still need to place in a mutator zone, which I will do shortly. It seems because it's so bright over there that it won't actually discolor that very neatly. But I don't think it needs a lot of it. Decal visibility. I'm gonna go like this. We're gonna do the same thing. The same actor hidden attribute as we did earlier. And now I'm gonna put this right here. And the act is already hidden. All I need to do is duplicate this, do it on the other side too, and voila, we have this all neatly set up. Add to actor. Actor hidden in game. Keyframe it. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm adding one more keyframe to hide it as well. So it only pops up when it explodes, you know. Poof! And I think this is pretty badass. Look at that. You go up there, you don't expect much. The eye immediately the eye looks at the missile immediately. You see it for a split second, and kaboom! Big explosion. And this is also the moment when an enemy group that you encountered here will pop up as well on these platforms, and it becomes basically a platformer for a brief moment. The beautiful thing about Fortnite is that it does do platforming pretty well. So I'm not concerned of people like you know, not getting that. Now, one thing what I could do technically is to make it more realistic looking. You know how we have like these a little bit, the sports are not necessarily like, it's just so straight. I could possibly create a board from down there, and I make sure it's all, and I can squeeze it underneath there, and if I do it right, it'll look just like, it looks just like it's part of that that board. And the reason I'm doing this is to kind of break apart the I want to make it seem as if the it's not just a straight piece, you know, a little bit more organic looking. So, you know, when it explodes, and I could put this right here. Put this same thing right there, and I can even take another board and put it right something like that, and this breaks up the pattern a bit. You know, Fortnite is very angular, and it works well within its units, but as a result, you do end up with situations where it doesn't really look as you end up with a situation where everything kind of cuts off, yeah, which is good and bad. One thing that I think is really good about that is, oh, look at that, you don't even see it. This is perfect. So you may see it. Okay, this is actually excellent, because boom, you just see a little bit of okay, perfect. Alright. The last thing I need to do is I'm gonna save this real quick. And I am gonna put in another mutator zone. Mutator zone. And the idea is to, the moment the player goes into the mutator zone, the moment the player goes in there, the animation will start, and it's gonna add a nice little challenge to it. And I'm super curious how it's actually gonna look like. The things that you didn't see in it is the actual explosion, the boom maker right here, and I just want to see it. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Okay, and I add a cinematic device. And I am gonna put What did I call it? I called it wall dash fire? No, bomb, missile. Huh. I actually forgot what I called this, this level sequence. Oh yeah, rocket scene. Here we go. And we're gonna make sure that the, we're gonna enforce a force keep state. One thing that's very important, most likely very important, is that I have to, on these two boards that fell out, I have to make them not spatially loaded. I think right now, nothing in the game is spatially loaded as of right this moment. But I have to make sure that that's definitely the case. Let me go into the settings. Spatially loaded. And I'm gonna change the data layer to loaded. What I'm doing in this game is I'm using data layer to load in data and load out data. This allows me to put in a lot more complexity into the map and have more control on what how much memory I'm using at any one point. Loading. I'm gonna say but specially loaded. And yeah. And perfect. I'm gonna save this. And I'm gonna launch. Oh, I think I was a little bit too eager about that. I have to do a number of things still. One thing that I like about the mutator zone is that I can immediately disable it the moment you enter it, which makes it really useful for something to trigger something, you know? So in this case, the player enters, it immediately disables the moment a player enters. But I also want to make sure it plays when the player enters. Right. Perfect. And now all I have to do is save. I should probably do my morning check-in, because I haven't checked in for a while, which is atypical for me. So I'm gonna press check-in. And what check-in does is it creates a copy of the game, a copy that goes directly to the Epic servers. So that way, when I make a mistake, let's say I made a mistake a few rounds later on, I can always see what I've done in the past and fix it if I need it. I could have called it morning, but I'm gonna call this stream because it's not technically morning anymore. I'm gonna submit it. It's gonna take a few minutes to load. It looks like it popped up again. Let's do the same thing. Submit. And now it's simply saving, I guess. I believed I had a couple more issues earlier on in this game that I probably need to fix as well. I need to double check whether the stores work properly. That's the one thing. And I had an issue where one of the attributes, the regeneration, didn't work. And I need to see what that issue was all about. And if that is done, the only real thing that I need to do is fill out all the rooms with enemies and decoration, and technically speaking, the game is done. At least done enough for public beta. Although I do have to create two more. I have to create two more. Sorry. I have to create two more cinematic sequences. One, either I have to delete this bridge, or I think it'd be much more interesting to make a cinematic sequence to break the bridge when you walk on top of it. And also I need to include a laser tripwire system where you see a little warning before a trap goes on. So this whole this whole section has a few traps. I'm gonna double save real quick. Let me see how we are on Fortnite. Well, it doesn't seem to work right now. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it looks like I haven't even seen the trailer for the new season yet. Oh well. Just to show you what that thing does, it's really cool. So when you play, you activate the trip mine, and the following sequence is gonna start happening. Let me show you. I click this, double click that, and now boom, this happens with metals and such. If you ask me how did I create these sound effects, or did I buy them, or and such, the answer is pretty easy. I used an AI tool called 11 Labs to do that for me. And the cool thing about 11 Labs is the fact that it allows me to put sound effects, create sound effects, and some of them are excellent. For example, you know, a big cinematic bass, a swoosh. That is really cool. That sounded so satisfying. Anyway, I created these sound effects using 11 Labs because it allowed me to accurately describe the sound I kind of wanted. And having in the past gone through libraries of sound effects and such, it's a much easier way. Ironically enough, generating a new sound by describing it is a lot easier than looking for it. Looking for a pre-made one. And of course you have also all these licensing issues that come with whenever you use a service. So it looks like it didn't load. Did I press? Huh. The reason it didn't load is very simple. I forgot to press the launch session button. Well, let's do that right now. Pressing the launch session button, and that should pop up really quickly. Let's see what that does. I see a little bubble there. Is there any issues? No. Everything looks perfect. And it doesn't seem to be loading. Oh, it is. It's just right now stuck. Oftentimes you just have to wait a minute before it releases itself. Because right now I cannot zoom in or zoom out. In the meantime, let me take a look at this code real quick. Because the problem I had is that the generation didn't work. So this is the do health gen. Okay, let's see what is it still. That's a little disappointing. Let me take a look at the taskbar. and see how much CPU. So apparently this little guy takes half of the CPU, which I don't believe. You have, okay, it looks like we are definitely working on something. Nice. All right. Okay, it is working. It just needed a minute to collect itself. It is crazy to think about that this project already has 21,596 project files. But I'm not necessarily surprised. It took quite a bit of materials to get the walls and everything going. So it's doing its matchmaking. One thing I need to do later on is to optimize the game for, make sure that every element is in the correct data layer. Because we don't want to blow out the budget. And of course I need to find a kick-ass tunes for the beginning sequence and all of that. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty certain I know how to change the display. It should be pretty easy. All it is effectively a material. An animated material. And you can see it right here. Glitch map. And yeah. I need to improve the Gunrunners store. There's still a number of things that I could be doing in this game to improve it. But more importantly, the biggest thing I need to do to improve it is to basically put in all the enemy characters into the correct areas. And then of course playtest, making sure which parts work and which parts don't work. Alright. It is in edit mode. I like to limit my play sessions like only once or like twice a day. And the reason is otherwise you get into this habit of really slow, working on it really slowly, right, on the game. Because it takes about 10 minutes for the scene to load properly. And if you make a little tiny change and you always have to wait 10 minutes, you can imagine that could become a real time sink after a while. So it is preparing. I'm gonna assume it worked. So let me grab these guys real quick. Actually, let me grab these guys. So the idea is that these islands will spawn at the same right after the explosion, giving the player a pathway forward to the next stage of the game. Oh yeah, one cool thing that I done also is I requested this one scene. There was this issue about not being able to get up this area. And I fixed it, but I also created a lot of photogenic elements in it to kind of make you feel like, okay, I need to go there. So if you go straight, you immediately see this part, and hopefully the player instinct is like, go where the light is. Yeah. Okay, looks like it's loading right now, so we can have our first playthrough. So it loads. The play goes. Eventually music will load. All awesome. Alright, the enemy is there. Okay, except now Now what happened? Technically, right now a cinematic sequence should load, and I should die. And I did that by going into a invisible damage scene. Once you load up into the village area, and well, this one turned out pretty nearly good. So you can interact with the doctor, and you can get a med kit. Though I'm not a big fan of how this is working right now. Let me just make sure that it's not going to be too loud on the output. All right. So I'm also going to make it a little bit more silent on my end. I'm gonna take a grenade launcher, take some coins, and now I can see whether I can buy stuff. I think I tested out in the past, but it doesn't alright. E doesn't do nothing. Doesn't do nothing. Okay. I can buy a hammer. Good. Can I buy this guy? Definitely can. I'm unable to buy this. I'm also unable to buy this. Oh, I can buy the sword. So the sword and this guy is working. So let's buy the sword. Now you're able to pick it up. And here we go. We have that element now. It's also really cool. So now you can go up there. So let me select this guy. So we have a... There's this one more... interesting. So if, it seems that anytime you get an object, you automatically drop the shield. So let me go interact with this play real quick. Double check whether the shield regeneration works. And what I noticed immediately is that we have 200 health. It's not exactly what I wanted it to do. Let's go to health cost again. Weird. Wait. Okay, the good news is that health generation works. You can see it on the bottom. But wait a minute. I thought we bought shield regeneration, not health regeneration. Yeah, it basically tells me that something goes wonky. Let's make it even faster. Yeah, I definitely need to fix the code on that. And it seems that anytime you do that, it's gonna spawn you back into the... Interesting. So I can... So if I'm not mistaken, it seems that the first health gets triggered and then the other part gets triggered. Let me go on top of this fence real quick and just spend some time getting damaged. You know what? I have a better way to get damaged. I guess let's play the game. So you go into the vault. The vault opens to you. As you go into the vault immediately closes behind you. And you're locked out. On top of it, you go down the wedge and you fall down. And this again gives you an inability to go backtrace. Looks like yeah, I definitely need to fix this 100%. And the reason it does that is because this loading, layer loading finally kicked in, and it wasn't part of the, data layer. So let me open this. Alright. Because I have the sword, I'm able to do things that I normally wouldn't be able to. Like this. Boom. So I just skipped a massive amount of work. What can I say? I really like the sword. So now I can go... Oh, okay. Look at that. I already see a first bug there. I already see the fire emerging where it shouldn't be. And I see a secondary bug, which happened to be the skybox that's suddenly showing. I'm gonna just really quickly defeat all of these fiends. Done. Alright. More fiends. So this part is broken, can't really go anywhere. Maybe this might be a good place to put in like a little Easter egg. Or a little bit of a... oh, never mind. That scared me for a minute. Open this. Oh, no way. Okay, there's definitely a bug there. Let's fix these bugs. Are they technically bugs? No, they're not technically bugs in the traditional sense. They just play things oversights. So I had this guy open, and the way it works is play function on switch and play reverse on switch. Problem is the switch is right here, and I have this guy too, and this guy. Oh, okay. I know exactly what the issue is. So it's already on off. It shouldn't go on off. It should go on. Wait. Never mind. You know what? I'm looking at this again, and it's definitely not doing what I think it should be doing. And it looks like I'm stuck here. You know what? I may have to fix this in a way. So when you turn this on... Okay, it turns on when you walk in there. And on turned on, it plays this play function. When you play this play function, it goes into... I think I figured out the mystery. Exactly. It went with the wrong... I had the wrong sequence on this one. So, since I know that, I just have to find the right sequence now. And I think it was K. Perfect, yeah, it was K. So now that I did that fix, I'm gonna obviously save it. Save it, and I may have to get out of the game. Well, I'm gonna respawn real quick. Respawn. Strangely enough, I also lost my weapon. This shouldn't technically have happened. It could also be because the game sees the sword differently than other weapons. Oh well. Well, I'm gonna end this game so I can push the changes into it. I definitely have to look at the verse code to see whether what the hell the issue was on that. And I noticed one of the fights is a very easy fight, and I want to make it a bit harder on the player. And I think the quickest way to make it harder is simply to increase the enemy count. Where was it? Yeah, right here. So I am gonna do total of 30. Let's do 8, 16. Let's do how many? 5. Alright, this seems to be just fine. Okay. I guess I'm gonna push the changes right now. That way you can see what we need to fix on. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. We got another follower. A minute ago. Nice to meet you, fellow follower. Thanks for taking a look at my Twitch channel. Let's see how much YouTube is doing. We have 1 viewer, and that 1 viewer may be just me. I'm not stressing though. It's a brand new Twitch channel, and the topic is really the whole purpose of this Twitch is basically just to document it for myself, and if it's any helpful for anybody, yeah, that's it. That's more of a benefit. It says it's been more than 24 hours since I checked in. Might as well check in again. I thought I checked in earlier, but just want to make sure that I'm gonna call this check-in stream 2. So this way. Alright. Okay, it's still uploading. So one thing you may notice when looking at the memory usage is right now on maximum. This is kind of on purpose. I enabled all data layers, so everything in the game is being open at the very same time. So it doesn't matter whether it's the village or the castle way in the back or every detail within the castle. Everything is being shown at the same time. And the reason why is so I can actually see the map when editing, you know? Because normally when you disable data layers, those data layers become still maintained disabled even if you go into an edit session within Fortnite. And that's no good. So in terms of the way the game was gonna work, you start out in this... let me see if I can stand on this. You start out in this castle area, which is a duplicate from the previous castle area. And the reason why you have it set up like that is this is supposed to be a sequence for first-time gamers only. My goal in this is for players to immediately get engaged with the game. So I give him a good weapon, I give him enemies, and I give it that initial feel of the game right away. It's also kind of like a little bit of story building, because this part is a lot less destroyed than the castle that you're gonna revisit. This is gonna have more destroyed areas, and you can tell that there was a big battle on it. You have a lot more, of course, since this is the real thing, real castle, you have a lot more details there as well. Then of course you have the third castle, which happened to be this. And this is basically acts as a billboard, or not billboard, but in the advertising sense, but a billboard more in, you know, like a mat in film production. And this is just to give this looming sense of that the cast is always looking over you, you know, and to even further emphasize is I created this lightning effect, so you're like always your eyes is drawn on it, and it has a little bit of a parallax when you move in and out. I think it's pretty cool. This is the teleporter. I have a couple of teleporters that act as QuickTime places that you can so you can skip portions of the map, but the condition is that you have to first enable that. Meaning you have to enable it, then you can use the transporter. And the transporter also uses sorry, uses a currency called active power cells, which happen to be let me show you this goofy thing. Here we go. This is an active power cell. The active power cell are basically the hacking slash the one currency in this game that allows you to interact with the technology in the game. For instance, whether you can have turrets, like a turret. Huh. There are turrets in the game. You can they're gonna shoot at you, but you can spend an active power cell to shoot at the enemy instead. Oh, okay, cool. It launched. What did I want to do again in this game? Alright, cool. Let me respawn real quick. I had a... Oh yes, now I remember. The problem is that there was a section I couldn't go because I forgot to do that. So this is a little bit of thing that bugs me still, and I haven't figured it out. I have a cinematic sequence roughly right over there, and it always doesn't load consistently, meaning it loads, but sometimes it gets skipped by all the data layers overlapping each other or something. I didn't figure this part out yet. Anyway, let's go and... Just in case, do I still have the... Let me just get that just in case so I can skip a part of the level. So then I have to redo it. And I noticed that my health is at 200. Not sure whether that's accurate either. I have to look again on... I have to overlook again whether that's supposed to be like that or not. Oh my... Oh no. This is bad. Okay, good to... So let me skip a part of it. So it did load, but it loaded in a worse... This is how it's supposed to look like. But the problem is... Alright. Okay, we still have the same issues as earlier. Enemy. Oh. 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 Oh, that's interesting. So, what happened there? Did I accidentally delete a floor piece? Huh. Anyway. I have to double check that part. Let's go. Yeah, that's not great. Okay, this is how the sequence should play out. You kind of come to yourself, it's loading, and voila. The doctor is gonna tell you something like, hey, you've been sleeping a lot, and blah blah blah. So it seems that now the health is working like it's supposed to. A lot of funky stuff is happening right now in the game. A lot more bugs emerged. I have to look into all this mess. So it's nearly noon. I'm just gonna do one more playthrough for everybody's benefit. If I happen to have any viewers. Let me see. I have this handy tool there. No. It's just me who's currently viewing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. It has been pretty buggy. Completely agree with that. But I think this parts of it is because I'm using a lot of data layers um, in this game to kind of oh, all right. Let's see whether I fix this part. And okay, now it fixes and perfect. I thought I had an enemy hiding there, but apparently I didn't. And I need to fix the skybox issue. I have the skybox that dynamically, like, that loads in when you have a data layer. But yeah. Alright, now, okay. Boom! Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to see. And, yeah. Technically, it shouldn't be jumpable. And the question is, do I want to keep it like that? Oh no, don't die. Okay, I died. Alright, we spawn. You start at the starting sequence again. Right. Well, thanks so much for checking in, game dev. It's nearly noon. So this is open. Interesting. Shouldn't it close right now? Oh yeah, okay, I know what happened. I had a mutator zone right here that disables itself, but I have no way. I didn't put in a parameter where it enables itself. Okay, loading. Oh. Oh, that's cool. State management. Is it is the state? Does it does it work? Does it work with data layers? That is really cool. Actually, how do you do that? Let me show you how I did this game. So you have like these loading zones where you load in data and such. How do you like Verse so far? I know it's pretty new as a programming language. I'm a complete novice at it, but I do have a couple of codes that I've written for it. For instance, I created this chopping mechanism where here. Basically, you have it's an array, modified array, where you can basically create a like a upgradable chop. I have no background in programming, so the fact that wow, I way back in the old days when I was a kid, I had a C++ programming book, and yeah, I couldn't handle it. I ended up as becoming an artist instead. Let me see. Can I follow you? I'm actually now curious about. Do you stream, or do you just do you stream? Let me see. Do you stream? Do you have like a map I can check out? Because actually, I would love to see what you're working on. Let me see if I can actually. How does that work? No, no. Same here. I'm intending to release it on the end of the month as well. Now, one thing that I'm gonna close this real quick. Let me let me go back into Unreal. Okay, if you don't mind, I want to show you something. I figured out how to do mocap in Unreal in UEFN using Fortnite characters. End game. Yeah, live link. This right now is live link right now. I have Unreal Engine on right now, and it's as primitive as you can imagine. It's basically just a green screen that goes into OBS and does that. That's why there's like a green fringe in it. I think it's really funny. But when it comes to the live link on mocap, it's very, yeah, same thing, except I'm using the yeah, it's live link to answer the question. Continue to load. Let me show it to you though. I used the stand-up template to learn how to do that. I noticed that very few people are actually using mocap, the animation features in Fortnite, and I'm gonna be one of the first ones who do that pretty extensively. So let me open the test project real quick to show you. So I have this is kind of like a test thing that I did earlier, just to test out certain concepts, whether that's even possible. So I'm gonna open up the level sequence, and here you can see that when you can literally see the lips moving, you know. Let me hide the NPC spawner. So the way I have it worked right now is that the first the mannequin pops up, and then the mannequin disappears and it's replaced with the NPC spawner. It's a little bit of a hacky, but it works. And plus I wanted to check out whether
Hi, this is a test animation of the it's just a test animation.
yeah, it was just something I did really quickly. But I wanted to test out how whether using 11 Labs, you know, the AI voice, whether 11 Labs would work with that. And so far I have really good success with 11 Labs in terms of sound, creating new voices and such. Like I have a bunch of voices already prepared for different kind of characters and such in my game.
I have crossed oceans of time.
So what's really cool is I can record my voice and then change my voice into something like that. That way I'm my own voice actor. That'd be cool. Microsoft Azure, possibly. What I also like about the 11 Labs is you can make a bunch of sound effects that I have been using in the game, like a mechanical swoosh and like eerie medieval courtyard ambient sound. It's very, very quiet. No, yeah. So the proof of concept worked in Unreal in UEFN, So I'm gonna incorporate it to a lot of dialogue in the game, and I already went ahead and written a lot of the dialogue right now. I was planning on next week to actually do all the dialogue for all the characters, because there's a bunch of dialogue that I need to video record and such. Well, anyway, it's past noon. I really appreciate you checking in, and if you don't mind, I wanna follow you because I'm actually curious about your progress as well. Like state management device looks pretty interesting. Um, the way I would do it is, by kind of like I know you can kind of like create data layers where you can overlap them, where you press a button, suddenly the old one disappears and a new one pops up. But I do think that data layers are a little bit glitchy at this moment. Right now I'm not, because a lot of the game itself is very like corridor on that. And also I'm debugging a couple of things yet. I like to be able to see everything. So it's kind of like I do it by data layer. I know that right now the memory uses is 170,000, but it does go under 90,000 the moment I use data layers. So it loads the village first and such. I I agree, it does work better, but a lot of the elements are like, for instance, the castle. I have a whole interior in the castle. Then I have a whole interior inside the castle, and then I have a whole dungeon area, and it's just a lot of memory is being used within this one partition. Because I noticed that the world partition works in like the X and Y dimension, but it doesn't really work on the Z dimension really well. It kind of sees as like a flat map. I'm not. Okay, I cannot go inside. Oh, here you go. Let's see if I can go inside. I can simply show it in. I do. I do, and I will probably use world partition just on top of it. I will use it. I will put it back on. Right now, I have it off just to make sure that. Okay. Yeah, totally understand. I was about. I want. I need to quit that stream anyway. Anyway, it was good talking to you, man. Okay, see you later too. Okay. Alright. Bye bye. Yep. Thank you.